A cold case unit hums quietly in the background. A single fly buzzes near a window. Detective Isabella Rossi, early 30s, stands over a steel table lit harshly by fluorescence. Her eyes, analytical and relentless, scan the items laid before her. A weathered cardboard box, marked case. Hash 881102, read Evelyn. Homicide. The box holds the remnants of a life cut short, a well-worn copy of Carl Sagan's Cosmos, a set of keys for a 1980 Ford Escort, and a Northridge University student ID belonging to Evelyn Reed, age 21, eyes full of promise. With sterile tweezers, Rossi lifts the most curious object, a small, tarnished silver locket shaped like a five-pointed star. She angles it under a desk lamp and mutters, almost reverently, a star for the stargazer. Detective Marcus Thorne, late 50s and weary, leans against a filing cabinet, sipping from a battered styrofoam cup. He's seen this case revisited too many times, staring at the locket. Rossi opens it. One side is empty. The other holds a sepia-toned photo of an older woman from the 1950s. Someone no one has ever identified. It wasn't Evelyn's. Her mother denied recognizing it in '88. Her friends said the same. It wasn't a gift. The origin remains a mystery. Thorne recalls the theories. It was the killer's souvenir, maybe something Evelyn picked up by chance. Over the years, the file ballooned with suspects, a jealous ex, an obsessive professor, a bitter academic rival. Motives existed, but no evidence ever stuck. But Rossi sees something others didn't. Potential buried in that locket. Technology in 1988 missed what modern forensics might find. Trace DNA, skin oils. She's sending it to the lab, determined to rebuild the ghost in this machine. A week later, in the forensics lab, a technician named Anna confirms Rossi's hunch. Using modern particle lift techniques, they retrieve degraded epithelial cells. It's a partial DNA profile, male, and useless alone, but possibly traceable by maternal lineage. The photograph inside the locket also reveals more. Behind the severe-looking woman, the corner of a building, a stone archway, and a distinctive cast-iron sign. Partial fingerprints are found, one preserved in the tarnish. Not enough for an ID, but enough for elimination. And it's more than anyone had in 37 years. Rossi and Thorne visit Leo Vance, Evelyn's ex-boyfriend, now in his late 50s. Grease-stained and bitter, Leo recalls Evelyn's transformation after enrolling in university. She had grown distant, absorbed in stars, books, and her advisor, Dr. Finch. Leo admits they argued, loudly, but he maintains his innocence. When Rossi shows him the locket and the woman's photo, Leo denies recognizing either. He remembers Evelyn talking about something important, something secret, perhaps historical, perhaps personal, but she never shared it. At the university library, Rossi and Thorne question Dr. Clara Dunn, now head of the astrophysics department. Elegant and cold. She remembers Evelyn as bright but unfocused. Dunn admits Evelyn was digging through unrelated archives, obsessed with old celestial maps and forgotten records. Their rivalry for a fellowship is revealed. One Evelyn won. Dunn implies Evelyn had an improper relationship with Dr. Finch. When shown the photo, Dunn recognizes the architecture, an old observatory gatehouse torn down in the 70s. The original sign was salvaged and stored. In the dusty university archives, the detectives find the cast-iron sign, Blackwood Observatory. Rossi traces the land back to the Blackwood family, wealthy and reclusive, with ties to mining and astronomy. The last descendant, Eleanor Blackwood, died in 1965. A photo from a society page confirms the identity. It is the woman from the Locket. Rossi connects the DNA profile from the Locket to a local arrest, a distant relative of Silas Jennings. The Jennings family were caretakers on the Blackwood estate for generations. Silas Jennings would have been in his 20s in 1988. The match confirms it. He handled the Locket. Now elderly, Dr. Alastair Finch lives in a retirement home. Frail, remorseful, and tethered to an oxygen tank, he admits to an affair with Evelyn. He reveals she was breaking up with him the night she vanished. She had found something, a diary hidden in a library book, written by a Jennings ancestor. It spoke of a child's death, a cover-up, and Blackwood hush money. Evelyn had traced the locket back to Eleanor Blackwood. She planned to return it to Silas Jennings, convinced the truth needed to come out. Finch had warned her not to go. That was the last time he saw her. Rossi and Thorne drive to a remote rural home, the last standing piece of the Blackwood estate. Silas Jennings, now in his late 60s, sits whittling on the porch. He's been waiting for decades. He confirms the story. Evelyn found him, locket in hand. She had uncovered the long-buried secret of his sister's death, run down by a drunk heir on the estate. Eleanor Blackwood silenced the family with money and the locket. Silas had snapped. The weight of 5 decades of shame and silence overwhelmed him. He hadn't meant to kill Evelyn, just to quiet her. But when he let go, it was too late. He buried her with his sister and kept the locket. Now, after 37 years, he hands it back to the detectives. A trembling gesture of confession. "It's time," he says. Back at the cold case unit, night has fallen. The buzzing fly is gone. The file is closed, literally stamped closed in red ink. Rossi stands at the window, gazing out at the city lights like distant stars. Thorne joins her with coffee in hand. For decades, everyone thought the case was about jealousy, love, betrayal. But it wasn't. It was about shame, about a secret buried beneath decades of silence. And now, justice, quiet, heavy, and necessary, has arrived. Evelyn Reed, the stargazer, finally has her truth.